Okay, what is going on everybody? My name is Nuzzle, and today I'll be doing a deck profile of a deck that I recently used at a League Cup, as well as a League Challenge. We'll talk about that later. For now, let's get into the deck. As you can already see, there's a Rowlet on top, so you guys probably already know what this is. This is my Decidueye Zoroark deck. The list that I'm using is a little bit greedy, but yeah, it works. It does what it's supposed to do, and I like it. So to start off, we do play 4 copies of Rowlet. Rowlet is one of your more ideal starters. He isn't the best because he is kind of hard to retreat, but he's not as bad as some other stuff. So Rowlet, 60 HP, pretty basic. Then I play 3 copies of Dartrix. Dartrix, 80 HP, just your stage 1. I play 3 because I'm playing rare candies, but also Evo Sodas. So you do want to play a bit of a thicker line from the Dartrix, so you will be able to evolve into them if necessary. And then last but not least, we of course have our 4 copies of Decidueye GX. 240 HP, Feather Arrow allows you to place 20 damage somewhere on the field every single turn. So that's really nice. Razor Leaf for a Resonant DCE does 90, and Hollow Hunt allows you to put 3 cards from a discard pile into your hand, of course, once per game. To complement the deck, we have our main attacker, as well as our draw power. So we're playing 3 copies of Zorua, playing the one with Ram from Shining Legends, so that if like necessary you can attack with it. Not ideal of course. And to follow that up, I play 3 copies of Zoroark GX, and this is where the deck becomes good, because Zoroark GX, 210 HP, has the ability Trade. Once per turn you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. And then with the attack Riotous Beating, does for double colorless energy 20 times the 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in play. So with a full bench that does 120, with a choice band 150, and then we have Feather Arrows to boost the damage or to set up for some devolve plays. So yeah, main attacker as well as our draw power. Really like Zoroark, really good card. And then to get our supporters, we are playing 3 copies of Tapu Lele GX. Of course, with the ability Wonder Tag allows you to, once you play it onto your bench, search your deck for a supporter. Usually it's going to be Bridget on your first turn. Also has Energy Drive, don't use it a lot, but you can if necessary. And last but not least, we have 1 copy of Espeon EX. I'm from Europe. This is a Spanish card, so I'm allowed to play this. I prefer English, but this was like $2 or $3, so I was like, let me scoop it up. So we have a Spanish Espeon EX. First stack, Miraculous Shine allows you to devolve everything in your opponent's field. Highest evolution card goes back into their hand, and then with Feather Arrows and Riotous Beating you can set up for some cool KOs. And the next attack does nothing because we don't play psychic enemies. So that's it for the Pokemon lineup. Okay, so the issues are gone, I hope. So yeah, that's our Pokemon lineup. Of course, Decidueye and Zoroark are main attackers. So let's get into the supporters that we use in the deck. Them over there. For the supporters, this is not a thick line. I play myself 3 copies of N. I play myself 3 copies of Professor Sycamore, 2 Bridget, 2 Guzma, and as tech supporter I play 1 Mallow. Mallow really fun in the deck, being able to draw like your rare candy and Decidueye at once, so that's fun. And the rest is pretty standard. 2 Bridget to get set up for turn 1, 2 Guzma to fish out stuff on the bench and to hopefully kill it. 3 Sycamore just as raw draw power, and 3 copies of Anne for some disruption purposes as well as draw power early on. So supporters are pretty basic. I do play the Mallow, really like it in the deck. It just adds a little bit of consistency. And then for the items, we have 4 copies of Ultra Ball, 4 copies of Max Potion, 3 copies of Rare Candy, 3 copies of Eva Soda, 2 Field Blower, 2 Choice Bands, 2 Floatstone, and 1 Rescue Stretcher, and 1 copy of Special Charge. The thing a little different about my list is that I do play the 4 Max Potion. A lot of lists only play 2 or 3. I really like 4. It just adds a lot of tank into the deck, and it works. It honestly just works. So this might look really greedy, but it isn't as bad as you might think. 2 Field Blower would like a 3rd, as well for a 2nd Rescue Stretcher, but you do of course have Hollow Hunt to get resources back if you need to. 2 Choice Band, 2 Floatstone, pretty standard. 1 Special Charge, really standard with Max Potion. So yeah, nothing that special in the item cards, except for the 4 Max Potion of course. But like I said, I really like that. It's incredibly fun. It's good as well. And then for the last 6 cards of the deck, we have our energy. I play myself 4 copies of double colorless energy and 2 copies of grass energy. And that's it. So I have 2 chances to use Hollow Hunt in a game. I usually discard one, use the other one. And for the double colorless energies, these are mainly for Zoroark's Riot is Beating. So yeah, that's about it. Okay guys, welcome back to part 2 of this video. Now I'm gonna do my tournament reports. We are going to start off with League Cup Leiden. It's a place in the Netherlands. We had 48 masters, 6 rounds, and it was a best of 3 format. And yeah, I played the Decidueye Zoroark list that I just showed you guys. So here we go. Round 1 I played against Alolan Executor Venusaur. Game 1 I was more like a bit... I was thinking to myself like, what are you playing? Yeah, he messed with my head, with my brain, to be honest. It is actually quite scary. Tropical Head together with Jungle Totem can do pretty easily 80 on the 2nd turn, which knocks out Dartrix, Rowlets, or Zoruas. So early game this was kind of scary. Mid to late game it was, yeah, easy. I had Devolve. 220 was a pretty easy number to hit, so it wasn't like it was that difficult, and as soon as the Venusaur went down he just lost his entire setup. So yeah, really good matchup, and I was able to win 2-0. Next round I was playing against Tristan Walker. He was playing Broken Vor. Game 1 I really didn't get set up. Like, my start was decent, but had no follow-up, and he knocked out a Zoroark on his 2nd turn of the game with a Gardevoir. So, and I wasn't even able to respond to that, so another Zoroark would go down. So, decided to scoop game 1, and then game 2 I completely dead drew. Remember, I had a hand of 9, and that was 3 Field Blowers, because at the time of this tournament I was still playing 3. 3 Field Blowers, 3 double colorless energy, 2 Choice Band, and I think a Floatstone, and I started Lele. So yeah, that was just terrible. So I lost 0-2. Then round 3 I was playing against a guy from Belgium who was playing Buzzwole Garbodor. And yeah, this was quite scary. Of course Garbotoxin can turn off all of my abilities, so no trade and no Feta Arrows. But that's why I played 3 Field Blower, and then Buzzwole can deal with my Zoroark really well, in the early game at least. As soon as you take like your first knockout on a Buzzwole, he really isn't even able to respond to that because of Garbotoxin. So with some late game ending and just surviving because I play for Max Potion, I was able to win 2-0. Then round 4 was up against Tort.deck. Pretty similar list, to be honest. So the matchup was like pretty easy as always. Just use Feather Arrow a lot. Together with Devolve, you know, I eventually, when I Miraculous Shine, I just disassemble his entire board, and 9 times out of 10 the store.deck player isn't even able to respond to that. So yeah, I was able to win this 2-0 as well. Okay, I'm sorry for that, guys. I'm back. So yeah, let's continue. Round 5, I was playing against Quad Wobbuffet. This guy was playing everything to answer me. Didn't have abilities because of Bite Barricade. His breaks I couldn't one-shot because it has 140 and I can only do 120. Then he played E-Hammers, everything to get rid of my energy, so this was just a really one-sided matchup. My opponent eventually in game 1 got rid of all of my energy and special charge, so already used Hollow Hunt, and yeah, just decided to scoop, go into game 2. And in game 2, yeah, the exact same happened, so I lost again. This was really frustrating, I'll be honest. This was really annoying to play against. So yeah, after I lost, I was like, okay, just need one more win. I had a pretty good resistance because this guy and my opponent from round 2 were already in top 8. They were already like guaranteed. So I knew my resistance would be high, which pretty much means usually one player that has 4 wins, 2 losses is able to get top 8. So I was like, you know, if I can win the next one, there is still a chance to get top 8. And then around 6 I played against Guardy Sylveon. It did play a couple of max potions, but I really didn't see those that often because both games my opponent dead drew really hard. And I was able to get like my golden setup both games. So yeah, this was really one-sided, devolve or just some regular knockouts. I was able to take my prizes very quickly. Then he eventually scooped game 1, and in game 2 the exact same happened. He was just dead drawing like crazy. I'm pretty sure he like draw past like 3 or 4 turns in a row, so that was really sad. But that left me at a 4-2 record, which was enough in this case to get top 8 as 7th seed. You guys can see my name there, Hugo, that's me. With a 4-2 record, I was able to get top 8, so yeah, I was pretty stoked about that. One of my good friends, Ruben, he was 12th place. He went 3-2-1, so he unfortunately didn't get top 8, but I did, and top 16 was points, so Ruben was still happy. He was like, you know, came here for a reason today. So after a quick mistake in the presentation, we're back. In top 8 I played against the 2nd seed, which was Volcanion Turtonator. When he flipped over I was like, this is gonna be tough. It is doable, because Zoroark can do 150, then together with 2 feather arrows you can just easily get KOs, as long as they don't play belt, and this guy was playing Fighting Fury belt, so that was tough. Game 1 was really close. I got down to 1 prize card. I had 2 left, and he had 1. And I end him down to 1 and myself to 2. I needed a DCE to win, so a double colorless energy, to win the game, and he needed a Guzma. I didn't get my DCE, so I passed, and my opponent just drew the Guzma off the top, and I looked at my next card, and my next card would have been the double colorless energy, so lost a really close game 1. And then in game 2 he played amazing, I'll be honest. I just filled up my bench, had a really good turn 1, and his turn 1 was insane. He started with Volcanion EX, he top decked the baby Volcanion, put it on his bench, attached the Fighting Fury belt, attached a fire energy, steam upped once, Guzma the Zorua, killed it. And the second turn, his second turn, he did the exact same thing. And I had 1 Zorua prized, so I didn't have Zoroark at all that game. And he was just able to steamroll me from the beginning. So yeah, I lost 0-2 against Volcanion Turtonator in top 8. And a week later, I had a league challenge in Rotterdam. Only 12 masters, but not a lot. 4 rounds, best of 1. Round 1, I played against Zoroark Charizard, and yes, you're seeing this right. This was honestly, like, not even trying to be rude, but this was really easy. Charizard does hit my Decidueye for weakness, but he only does 160 with recall, so yeah, this was just pretty easy. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be honest, this was like done after 10 minutes. Easy. Then round 2 I played against Buzzwole Lycanroc. This wasn't as easy because again he was starting my Zoroark the entire game, and I made a miscalculation in the mid to late game, and after that I just scooped. Such a big misplay. I didn't KO an active Lycanroc with my Zoroark, so I didn't have a follow-up at all, and he had game in hand, so I just decided to scoop and just say, I lost. Round 3, I played against Alolan Noxalazzle, even though that's not even true. I actually only played against a Tapu Koko, because my opponent, I was going first, had my turn 1 Bridget, regular setup, and my opponent used Skyla for Bridget and passed with a Koko in the active, which has 110 HP, and then on my second turn I was able to get a Riotous Beating for 120 to win the game, so I won that like in a minute or two, so yeah. And then round 4 I played against Volcanion Turtonator again, and guess what, the exact same happened as in game 1 of top 8 the week before that, so really close game, but I just lost at the end. So that was unfortunate. So yeah, as you can see guys, I got 5th place. The guy before me did a little bit better because his resistance was a bit higher. So I want to get 5th place, but you know, I had a lot of fun, and I also think that's important. So yeah, with that I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'll see you guys next time.